Today, we're going to tackle a really big topic, something that feels more complicated than ever: starting a family. We're going to look at why it's become so fraught, from these explosive political fights all the way to a much quieter global crisis that's unfolding right before our eyes.
So let's ask the big question right up front. Why does it feel like navigating parenthood is like walking through a minefield these days? Well, to really get a handle on it, we have to explore two crises that seem totally different on the surface, but are actually, deeply connected. And this really frames our whole conversation. On one side, you have this very loud, very public battle over who should be financially responsible for pregnancy. And on the other side, something much quieter, a global trend where fewer and fewer people are having kids at all. It's like two sides of the very same coin.
Okay, so let's dive into that first part, the political flashpoint. There's a bill making its way through the U.S. Congress called the Supporting Health Pregnancy Act, and wow, is it kicking up a storm. It's sparking this really intense debate about fairness and responsibility before a baby is even born.
This one comment from online really just nails the feeling at the heart of the opposition. The argument from critics is that this bill completely flips a cornerstone of justice on its head, the idea of innocent until proven guilty.
So let's break down exactly why people are so fired up. The bill can make an alleged father, and that word is key, start paying for pregnancy costs based only on the mother's claim. What's raising red flags for critics is that there's no requirement for a DNA test first. And on top of that, there's no clear automatic way for a man to get his money back if a test later proves he isn't the father.
And what's throwing gasoline on this fire is this statistic that opponents of the bill point to. They cite data suggesting that up to 30% of paternity tests come back showing the man named is not the biological father. That number has become a huge rallying cry for people worried about the potential for false accusations under a law like this.
But what if this whole political fight is just a symptom of something much, much bigger? This is where we pivot. We're going to shift our focus from the argument over who pays for a child to the bigger, maybe more important question: why are so few people even starting families in the first place?
All right, now we're zooming out. We're going from one proposed law to a massive worldwide demographic crisis. And for this, we're leading on the incredible research of a data scientist named Stephen J. Shaw. He spent almost 10 years digging into this trend, and honestly, what he found is nothing short of staggering. Okay, get ready for this number. After analyzing data from 39 different countries, Shaw discovered that a woman who is childless at age 30 has at best a 50% chance of ever becoming a mother. Let that sink in. For many people, hearing that is like a cognitive hammer blow. It reveals a stark reality that we just don't talk about. And just to be clear, we are not talking about a slow, gentle decline here. The data shows that countries with low birth rates, think Italy or Japan, are on a path to lose 1/3 of their entire population in a single generation. Go 2 generations out, and they could be half the size they are today. That is a demographic cliff, and it has absolutely massive consequences for the economy and society. But here is the real twist in the story. The reason for the decline isn't that parents are choosing to have smaller families. Actually, mothers today have about the same number of kids as mothers back in the 1970s. The entire collapse in the birth rate is being driven by one thing: a massive increase in the number of people who never have that first child at all. So this brings us to the big idea, the theory that really connects all the dots. According to Shaw, this whole crisis isn't happening because people don't want to have kids anymore. It's happening because of a fundamental breakdown in timing. The social script that used to guide everyone towards starting a family has just disappeared.
Shaw has this brilliant term for it: reproductive synchrony. It's basically the idea that for a society to work when it comes to forming families, you need a critical mass of people who are all on the same page, at the same time, looking for a partner and ready to settle down in a pretty narrow window of time.
He explains it with a great analogy. Think of a town dance. In the past, pretty much everyone showed up between, say, 8 and 11 p.m. The room was packed, the energy was high, and it was pretty easy to find a dance partner because everybody was there for the same reason at the same time. Now imagine people just wander in any time between 7 p.m. and 1 a.m. The energy is gone, the room feels empty, and the chances of meeting someone whose timeline actually matches yours, they just plummet. And here's the crucial takeaway. This means that delaying parenthood isn't just kicking the can down the road. It actually breaks the social machine. The curve of when people start families doesn't just shift to the right, it flattens out and completely collapses, making it mathematically harder and harder for every new generation to find a partner and start a family. And that brings us right back to where we started.
These intense political fights over who pays for what and the silent global collapse of birth rates, they're really just symptoms of the same core problem. We're a society that's kind of lost, struggling to figure things out after the old rules for how you build a family just vanished. And it leaves us with this huge, profound question for our time. With the old scripts gone, who's going to write the new ones?